Now stay tuned to the following radio broadcast.
You're listening to the Victory Station, AM 1360. We're glad you chose us. Thank you.
It's Impact with the Florida Star, the largest, oldest, and most read African-American newspaper in Northeast Florida and South Georgia. And now, here's the host, the publisher of the award-winning Florida Star, Clara McLaughlin.
This is Opio, and welcome to another edition of Impact. Man, we got a great show lined up for you today. You do not want to miss it. But make sure that you pick up a copy of the Florida Star newspaper. We've been around for a very long time, and why not? This is a black paper. It cares about you, and we have shown that we are able to speak truth to power. So make sure you pick up a copy of the Florida Star. Also, Star TV 18.2, who's giving you the most radical documentaries, the most intelligent and black and beautiful documentaries, who's giving you the type of music that we're giving, and laying information out with black love skits and some of the most magnificent images and faces from Malcolm X to Ida B. Wells to Bessie Coleman. We're doing it. So make sure you pay attention to Star TV and what we're doing there, 18.2. We got just an incredible show. We got Ricky Galvin, the president. We're going to have him on in the later part of the show. It's going to talk about the music industry here in Jacksonville. And we got my man, Khalid El Hakim. This brother, the CEO and founder of Black History 101 Mobile Museum. Right up next, so y'all stay tuned right here on Impact. This is Opio, and I am speaking with Khalid El Hakim. This is the brother that's doing some incredible work. Those of you who love history, those of you who care about black culture, you're going to want to stay tuned for this right here. He runs actually a mobile unit, the Black History 101 Mobile Museum. This is the CEO and founder. How you doing, brother?
I am doing well, brother Opio. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. Man, I just hear so much about you before I actually saw you, and somehow we became friends on Facebook. And, man, I look to all the places that you've gone, and I see a number of the things that you have inside the mobile unit. And I'm thinking, wow, this is incredible. And then a really good friend of mine, Professor Griff, just promotes you on Facebook. And so what you're doing is an incredible work, brother. How did this all come about?
Man, this has been a 20-year work that I've been doing. I started collecting in 1991, shortly after taking an intro to sociology class in undergrad. And there was a professor that used artifacts in class to teach about race. He would bring in artifacts every day and teach us about the origins of racism in America. So everything from cast iron banks that look like monkeys to images of mammies and pickaninnies and just all types of just negative stereotypes. And it really gave me a sense of the nuance of race and how the images of black people have been used as propaganda to dehumanize us in America. So it was shortly after taking that class that I started going into antique shops and finding these types of artifacts. And I started collecting those then. And then when I started teaching in the Detroit public schools, I used the same methodology to teach my students. And the collection just grew. And by the time 1995 came and I went to the Million Man March, I came back with my walking orders, which were to, like the other black men that went, was to make a change in your community. So once I got back to Detroit from the Million Man March, I ended up taking the collection out to different community organizations around the city and just sharing, some of these artifacts with the community. And that really is what started the mobile part of it. Actually taking these artifacts around and sharing them in public spaces, and just the feedback and the response I got from the community, they just really appreciated it and started inviting me out to churches and to schools, and eventually it grew to people calling me from out of state, to different colleges and different other places. So and it just grew from there, man.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm an educator. I taught in the Detroit Public Schools for 15 years. I taught social studies, in middle school. I have a master's degree. I'm currently working on a PhD at the University of Illinois in Champaign. I worked in the hip-hop industry for 20 years. I worked as a booking agent and manager for people like Proof from D12, The Last Poets, Jessica Care Moore, obviously, Professor Griff, and a bunch of other people. And my work in the hip-hop industry also contributed to the growth of the collection because I started collecting hip-hop memorabilia 20 years ago. So just that piece alone with hip-hop started to fill in a gap that wasn't even being addressed in hip-hop in terms of our culture. There were very few people who are actually collecting the material objects of our culture. So I found myself among a very small group of people who actually have made a commitment to archive hip-hop. So now in America you have archives at Cornell University, Harvard University. I think William and Mary College has an archive at the University of Houston. There's an archive now at the new National African American Museum in D.C. So and it's great just to see that people see so much value in our culture. And I come from that culture, so to see that being preserved properly now and given paid respect, respect due, is a beautiful thing. So I wear many hats, brother.
Man, I tell you what, I wouldn't drive your unit past the Schomburg Center in New York. They just might jack you, man, because you got some good stuff. Tell us a little bit about some of the archives that you have inside the mobile unit.
Well, all right, let me back up a little bit. So I do have a mobile unit. I built that in 2006. So from 2006 up until about 2009 and 10, we had that on the road, mainly just going around different neighborhoods in different cities in Michigan. We've never taken the unit outside of Michigan, and because of just the financial constraints of doing that, we decided to focus on taking the collection itself out to all the places that we travel. So when people see the collection on the road in all these different states and college campuses that we've gone to, and we've been to actually 26 states now, almost 100 college campuses, a lot of K through 12 schools and religious institutions and corporations all around the country. So we're actually taking the collection out itself. We take about 200 artifacts out, and we set up in spaces that the people who bring us out provide. So, we might be in a classroom, we might be in a public library, we might be in a sanctuary in a church or a theater. So we're in many different places. And that's one thing that makes this really mobile and flexible is the fact that we can come into whatever space and transform that space into an exhibit area. So what type of things do we have in the exhibit? So the collection is about 7,000 artifacts, and it dates from the transatlantic slave trade up to hip-hop culture. So I have documents that are signed by Marcus Garvey, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Imam Muhammad Muhammad, Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Mary McLeod Bethune, Carter G. Woodson, and pretty much you name it. So it's documents like that. Plus there's rare photographs, there's rare magazines, there's figurines, there's toys, there's sports items, there's music items. I mean, we have original music, sheet music from Motown. You name it. It really reflects the black experience in America. I've been very meticulous in the things that I've gone out and sought to purchase for the museum, And we have a very, very unique, wide range, diverse group of artifacts. We even have shackles. We have original lynching photographs, segregation signs, all types of things. It's really a powerful, powerful exhibit.
I hope you're getting paid for this. Is it a business, or are you just doing it for the love of it?
You know what? I started off doing it for the love of it, and knowing that there's a need for our people to be exposed to some of this material, because it obviously is not being taught in our school system.
Right.
And I'm talking K through 12 and college. So it wasn't taught, and it's just like I was using my very limited budget as a school teacher to go out and purchase these artifacts. So it's not like I had anybody who underwrote this mission. But through being invited to different schools, people pay us to come out. So it has turned into a business, although it was not business early on.
Man, that's awesome.
For the love early on.
That's
but
awesome.
Yeah, it definitely is a business.
Man, and see, if you guys call this brother and you have him come, you make sure you put good money in his pocket, because we want him to build this even bigger.
Yes,
tell us how we can get in contact with you. Tell us your website. Tell us your name so they can get you on social media. Give us all that information, brother.
Absolutely. So, first of all, you can reach me at 313-645-4197. 313-645-4197. My email address is B as in black, bhistory101@yahoo. bhistory101@yahoo. The website is blackhistory101mobilemuseum.com. The Facebook page is The Black History 101 Mobile Museum. And I think that's it. You can follow me on Twitter, bhistory101, and Instagram is also bhistory101.
What about on Facebook?
Now, and again, Facebook is The Black History 101 Mobile Museum. That's the Facebook page. And then my personal Facebook page is Khalid Hussein El Hakim. Khalid Hussein El Hakim.
All right, brother. Yeah, and it's a small world, because I worked on a project with Professor Griff called Turn Off Channel 0. And
I remember that.
Yes, sir. I think your wife has one of the most incredible pieces that we have on that mixtape. And so we want for you to give her the greetings for us. And brother, we thank you so much for doing the work that you're doing. I'm going to let you know I'm a historian, and I'm just so thankful that we got a brother that's out here doing this. And any way that we can support you, brother, we want to be able to do that.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate this interview, and I look forward to hearing from anyone who reaches out to me.
All right, brother. Peace to you.
Do you know what media received the first Eagle Award by the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office for being the most factual? The Florida Star. Do you know which media solely addresses issues of concern for African Americans? The Florida Star. Do you know which media carries local, state, national, and international news regarding African Americans? The Florida Star. Do you know the only media that carries a special section for our youth at home and the schedule for 3 black television networks? Now you know. The Florida Star. Northeast Florida's largest, oldest, and most read African American newspaper, serving since 1951 in more than 200 locations. The Florida Star. News you can use. News you can trust. The people's choice. Striving to make a difference. Subscribe today. Call 766-8834. That's 766-8834. Pick up the Florida Star at over 200 locations, or to have it delivered, call 766-8834. The Florida Star. Speaking truth to power.
This is Opio. I am with a good friend of mine, as well as somebody the community, particularly in the streets, know music industry locally. I met him through a good friend of mine who's been on this show, as a matter of fact, Mr. Michael Ware. And I'm talking about no other than Mr. Ricky Galvin. We call him the President. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fine. How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good, brother. I had to get you on because I have some questions, and I know if I have some questions, many people who are not from here might have those same questions about the music scene, the music business, the music industry. I was gone from here for a long time and came back, so they tell me that you're the person to talk to.
Well, it don't seem you're in the wrong spot. I mean, I believe in Jacksonville in the music scene, so I'm sure to give you some good positive feedback and hopefully point you in the right direction.
Okay, tell us a little bit about what music is doing pretty well in Jacksonville.
I would say totally all different types. I mean, it's hard to pinpoint one. You have, rock bands out at the beach. You got country westerns on the west side. You got a few, you got a gang of hip hop and R&B and soul. And I ran into a lady today, Miss Terry, and she does gospel. So, it seems like Jacksonville it's got the bug. It's not just a certain spot or category. It would be totality, in my opinion.
A friend of mine who actually we were in PE class in high school, in junior high school. We were actually met a guy named Van Bryan. He's from the 69 Boys. They had the song called Tootsie Roll. And that is that's a big hot record, Thrill. They call him Thrill the Player. That was a hot record that came out. Why don't we get more big records to come out from people that are right here in Jacksonville?
I believe we do have big records that's out, but I believe that the media backlog, I don't want to use a better word, the avenues that be is so congested full of junk right now. If Jacksonville has to actually make their own avenue, and 69 Boys broke the mold, and so did another group, I don't know if you remember, I called them so much as the godfather of hip hop in Jacksonville. These two brothers, Doc Box and B Fresh from Lee. They did the song Making Slow Love. This was about maybe 4 or 5 years before 69 Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And this was with Cheryl Pepsi Riley and all those. It broke a little mold, but it's hard to get the industry really to sit up and pay attention to the South. Because they think, we have a certain swag and a certain groove, so therefore they categorize. But it's coming. It's definitely coming.
Tell me this. How did Hello Love get so big? Because when you hear that song, you go, man, that song has a ring to it. But it has an international feel to it. Right here out of Jacksonville.
Yeah, you said it right on point. Hello Love took off because it was unique. When you heard it and you heard MGZ playing those different instruments, it caught your attention. And then when T-Rone came with the words and the verbiage play, that caught your attention. So it's like it was a perfect marriage in heaven, and it went around the world. And it still got guys like Wycliffe redoing it, Method Man. You got so many people in the industry paid attention to that record because it was very unique.
Can you name some of the artists out of here that you feel like is right on the verge, or some of the groups do you feel like that's right on the verge of blowing up?
Oh man, I hope you got a pen and paper. Oh man, anybody coming out the Win Lab. I mean, anybody dealing with Melvin Goggins, MGZ. You have Lefty Guns. You have Lil Jug. You have Sid Deasy. You have Shoulder Don. What's his brother out of New York? Monster Cody, T-Rone, Joey Williams. I mean, you have so many guys that's on the verge, if not, then broke it. It's just all about getting those radio stations to push us now.
Mm-hmm.
You got guys, I have a few songs with Sean J. And I have another song with T-Rone called Wiggle When She Walk. So, I mean, you have the girls doing things like Courtney Lacey and Holly Monroe and Lady Shay and Tiana Renee. So, I mean, you have so many different flavors coming. And it's all about getting the radio stations behind us as well.
Now, I was in one corner store, and I walked outside, and I heard about a year and a half ago this song by this group called Cut Circle. And that song, Lions and Tigers and Bears, world when it's war time. Now, that, I walked outside, I heard that. And then, that was a year ago. Today, I'm looking at a flyer at another corner store, and I see them on a flyer of a big event that's about to go down. Do we have crews in Jacksonville, like Cut Circle, that you feel can blow up and do some real big work?
Oh yeah. Cut Circle, that song was actually made by a brother named 1200 Yak.
Mm-hmm.
As Cut Circle was featured on it. But as far as in groups, you have guys like Lil Jug and Sid Beasley. They have an album called Tax Season, and you'll never take it out your CD player. You have groups together like Shoulder Don, Lefty Guns, and Pit the Don, and they may come out with a big record. So you may not have a collective, I would say traditional group, but you have cliques and groups of guys to get together. Those they come from the Windland, like I said again. That can actually, generate that group vibe, but yet still be individuals.
Right. So is there a unity here? Because usually when you see a city get some real unity, they blow up. St. Louis did it. Houston did it. Atlanta did it early. New York did it early and then broke down and trying to come back towards it. But every city that ultimately create this big unity, they began creating millionaires into the music industry. Why haven't we been there already?
I think the problem with our unity is basically there is no problem. I understand, and I mean, the people I work with in the One Lab, it's so much love and unity in there that it's hard for me to see negative because I see everybody working together, trying to help each other with their projects. So the unity is there. I just don't think that the radio stations have picked up on love and the unity. I mean, you have guys T-Ron who's trying his best to push us, but we are collectively Duval. And I think that it takes for us to maybe do a show or go out of town as a group, as a collective body, and show the world that we are together, because we are together. It's just that we haven't showed it in the public eye like it needs to be.
So there's a whole lot of talent here, but there's also a situation with record labels. Like in New York, you can walk into a big record company. And now in Atlanta, you can do that. LA, you can do that. But Jacksonville, you can't do that.
But you don't need it. You don't need a big record label no more. Because you have the internet and you have Instagram where you can actually market and distribute your music. You have so many different media outlets that the big parent company is really obsolete outside of cutting that check. I mean, you have so many free SoundCloud, Instagram, and Pandora, and places where your music can get out, and you don't need the label. And like I always tell people about Jacksonville, I was here from the 70s when there wasn't rap music. And I was always taught, you stay in Florida. If you build it, they will come. And I think once we build that sound, that unique sound of Jacksonville, the labels will come. But I think they recognize that we're not, how should I say, full grown ready. But, some of us are and some of us aren't, but they see that we're growing as a kid, as a child, now we're a man. So, I mean, once we drop a few more hits and stuff, the big parents are coming. They're coming.
Right. And there, I mean, you got a city of 1 million people. Is it Jacksonville buying its own music at all?
They do, but Jacksonville is not predominantly a black city, a black mecca like, say, Atlanta. I mean, out of the 980,000 people we got to try to get to that million, you may have a collective of maybe 100,000 or 200,000 is black, and it's so spread out, and that's another problem. We're so spread out across Duval County that it doesn't seem we're together because we're so distant. But we do buy each other music. It'd be hard pressed to go platinum straight from Jacksonville because you don't have the market that will support that. But mean, we are coming.
Nice. This is Opio. I'm speaking to Ricky Galvin, the president.
AKA the president.
Yes, sir. And he's a person that really understands the streets and the music industry. Talk a little bit about the Win Lab and where is it? What are they doing? Why so many people are talking about it? That's in the know.
Well, the Win Lab is on 956 North Liberty Street, downtown. And it's not the only industry-ready studio. You have a world-renowned producer in there by the name of M. Jeezy. You got Dread Beats in there, and these guys have made platinum hits and rub shoulders with the T-Pains and the Fantasias and whatnot in the industry. The Win Lab is so encouraging, it's so warm, it's so positive that when you come in there, you're going to feel like, you already been here. You belong here. So once you get in the Win Lab, your creative juices start flowing. Because all the nonsense is out the door. All the positive feedback is in there with you. And it's like we push each other and we cheer for each other and we want you to win with us. We want to win with you. So the Win Lab is like a spot for where artists go to charge their batteries. Where artists can go and get the best out of him or herself. Because when Jesus is going to push you, I'm going to push you. And it's all going to be love, and we're going to come out with a hit. So it's all about the energy. It's all about the energy,
One last question. Do you see somebody that's about to blow that you would like to mention?
What you mean, like an artist role?
Yeah, as far as an artist, that's a song or a group or an individual?
I work with such a multitude of artists, from the Sean Jays to the Lil Jugs to the T-Rones, the Joy Williams. It's like my whole Win Lab camp I want to see blow, because we're talking about over 50 young, strong, positive artists / entrepreneurs. And all of them got good music. You got your Jerichos. A lot of gangster rappers are actually becoming rappers towards the ladies, and that's growth. Right. So, I want to see all of us, blow. There's not like one or two. I want to see the whole camp. Because I root for the whole camp. Chevy Dollars is on the internet. You got, like I said, the Lefties dropping, Rock Daddy's dropping. You got MGZ and Dread Beats stay so busy. So, just like Hit Ratchet just came out with Jerry Williams. T-Ron got some songs with a girl named Gwen Henderson. And mark my words on this one. When you hear this lady named Gwen Henderson, you're going to be like the president told me about her. So it's like the whole Win Lab camp. I would like to get you some visuals down there so you can see exactly who and what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, I've been in the Win Lab. We were working on, I think, a TV show. And, man, you're right, man. The love in there, the talent, just unbelievable. People professional and having a good time and showing love all at the same time.
Right. Yeah, right. One thing about talent, I learned from playing football. Talent is good, but if you don't be able to crab and do tour days and you're not able to be coached, then your talent is nonsense.
Right.
So the Win Lab is like a coach. It's when you come, the guy who run a 4.340 can come and learn how to run his 4.340. The Win Lab, you have so much love and talent in there that if you wasn't an artist, you'll start humming it. It's like a mecca. That's the best way to describe it. It's like a mecca. So, anytime you want to come down, you're welcome. And when your viewers want to know something, they're more than welcome to, hit me up, rickgalvin007@gmail.com. And me and MGZ got a record label together called Change the Game. And that's what we're coming to do, change the game and get our music off the earth and take our music to the atmosphere. So that's what we're trying to do with ourselves.
Man. Don't y'all just love Duval County? This is Opio. I am speaking with Ricky Galvin, a.k.a. the President. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Sir, you have a good day, brother.
You too, brother. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you pick up a copy of the Florida Star newspaper and also patronize us. Make sure when you have money and you want to advertise with us. We have radio, we have television, as well as newspaper. And we're black owned and operated. So y'all make sure y'all look out for us. And we will see you next time. This is Opio Ciccone on Impact.